adopt and integrate itself really with other emerging economies. And while some would say going cashless overnight is something of a pipe dream, but perhaps this is an opportunity, not a challenge. How do you say?
Well, you see, the point is the way we look at it, there is no alternative. We have to modernize the economy. If we have to basically make sure that every single Indian has access to, banks, has access to, the prosperity of the country, we have to be at least at par with other emerging economies, BRICS countries such as Brazil and increasingly China. I mean, so I'm not even comparing with developed economies like the United States or Sweden and Norway. So here we have to be at least at that level. Look at Brazil, for instance. How sophisticated is their system? And Brazil is also, a developing country like India, a member of BRICS, and much smaller economy.
Even though China is way ahead of us as far as digitizing their economy is concerned, cash as percentage of consumer payments in China, sir, constitute over 45%. Some say it's close to 80%. So they are more digitized, but they haven't gotten rid of cash.
Now, you see, the point is China's economy is very different. China as a society is very different. It's a very centralized, very controlled economy, very controlled political system. But our system is totally different, more comparable with democracy. I mean, like Brazil, for instance. So here our focus is basically to learn from other democracies and at the same time look at the requirements of the people. What we need to understand is a lot of people are questioning this thing that our people not privileged enough to be better educated, that they really can't get into this, the e-wallet system. I think
there's some slight problem with the connection there. But would you want to come in, Dilip Cherian, here? I mean, let me just give you a figure. In 2014-15, Dilip Cherian, there were 255 million users of mobile wallets in India. The number grew to 603.98 million in 2015-16. That's a substantial growth. That's more than 100% growth. But do you think it's still less? Because how many percent of India's population has smartphone penetration? I think in the rural areas it's as low as 15 to 16%.
I think with the coming in of Jio, you're going to see a game changer in terms of accessing, digital technology from your handheld, because they have a plan which involves a serious drop in prices. So prices will go
extended that way.
Prices will go from where you're seeing it today to much lower. So the point is that digital penetration is going to go up in leaps and bounds, and I think it's simultaneously young people, when they come into the job market, also prefer to do payments digitally. Then you're talking of a large scale absorption, which India has a great moment. But talking about the moment, this is beginning to sound to me unwittingly like an India shining moment all over again. We need to be careful. There are pains, there are problems, and I think the sooner we encounter and face them and recognize that they need to be crossed over, the better it is, because that will lead to a more robust, a safe and an acceptable means, because ultimately here you're not toying with transportation, you're not toying with your vegetables, you're toying with the basic means by which all commerce is conducted. GNP could be affected if you don't handle this correctly.
As far as UPI, right, payment interfaces are concerned, micro ATMs, Aadhaar linked payment systems as well, do you think Mr. Cherian, that all of this might still not be enough coverage for the entire country to actually have a claim and say that, look, we digitized India's economy?
I think it's very simple. To try and do a completely digital economy is a pipe dream. It's not going to happen, and we should aim there, but recognize that we will stop well short of it.
Okay.
And that's good enough.
Okay, Shama Mohammed wants to come in. Go ahead quickly, Shama.
Siata, there are 305 million people without power in this country. That's the exact number of people we have without power. Now, if we want a digital economy, we need power, complete power for everybody. 20% are the people who use smartphones. And that's he was talking about Brazil and China. In Brazil and China, it's 60 to 70% using smartphones. And also we have the internet coverage in villages only 9%. So what I'm trying to say
is growing, Shama. It's growing by leaps and bounds.
Also the digital economy, but first you need to improve the infrastructure. Wait a minute. We need to improve the infrastructure first. Like I said, we can't just tell people what to do all of a sudden. And number two, we have the Twitter handle of Mr. Gandhi as well as the Congress party being hacked. Now, what is the safety mechanism the government is going to do for online banking, online payments? And you know that in India, it's a bailable offense if you do hacking. Whereas in countries like US, you have 6 months to 5 years imprisonment. So they need to change these laws because there's going to be a lot of fraud online. What is the government
Safety
going
is
to
a
do
big
about
concern.
that?
I'll give you
Starting
that.
digital economy, you need to have very strict laws for hacking.
I'll give you that. Safety is a big
That's a
concern.
very, very
Fraud
big
is another
concern.
concern, Mr. Taneja, and has the government, of course, in the hopes really of trying to get a society with a mission and a more ethical society. Have we counted out really the dangers just before demonetization was announced? I'm sure you're familiar because it happened to me. I happened to be one of the bank customers. There was a huge hack for SBI online accounts, for HDFC, many other banks. Now the security aspect worries a lot of people who are already on the digital platform, not to mention those who heard about this but have been going cash heavy till now and will have these fears.
Allow me a little time. You
Sure.
see, in terms of cyber security, cyber safety, we are among the best in the world. I mean, you just have to, for instance, look at banking cyber security or the banking, net.
I just
shift,
described to you how a
compare
hack
it with
was
other-
conducted for
we are
millions of
comparable with
subscribers
others.
on bank
Don't
account
forget that.
holders in SBI, in HDFC,
No.
in many
No,
other
no,
banks.
Just a minute.
I'm
just
sorry,
a minute.
I don't agree
no,
on
just,
this.
ju- no, no, we, just a second. But you see, the government got into action in absolutely no time. And look at the number. You see, when you look at the amount of money that people really lost, how much was that? I'm sure you know that figure. It's a very small figure, and compare it with that kind of similar, kind of frauds which have been conducted or taken place in developed economies. So I think we are not saying, what we are talking about is basically a major transformation, the beginning of a major revolution, so that we can take advantages and the merits and the
Sir, I
fruits
need
of
to come in over
digitalization
here.
What about
to
the
the
security
maximum
aspect
possible
of it, sir?
people.
Is there,
That's the
we're
target.
talking about a
We are not
blueprint.
saying,
Do we
nobody
have
is
hard
claiming,
conflict
nobody.
laws in place?
Attar, I need to come
Yes,
in. Can I
Shama
just
Mohammed,
come in
please
for a
come in.
minute?
See, I want-
Attar?
Shama Mohammed, please come in here. I'll come to you afterwards.
Just
See, the reason he said the developed countries, it is much, in the developed countries it's much more because online transaction, the percentage of people are much more. That's why the online hacking or whatever, the money taken away is much more. Here hardly anybody use online transaction, it's much less.
So
So
that
what
is
is he
why
talking about?
Mr.
In
Taneja,
developed countries,
respond to that. I'll come to you
a lot
then
of
afterwards.
people
Mr. Taneja,
use
respond.
mainly online transactions. So that's why there's a lot of
volume to
That's the
volume.
reason.
Give me the
Not
figure in
because,
any developed country
India's
and compare
laws
with the
or
volume figure in India.
We have good cyber security.
Let's compare volume to volume in a developed society with volume in
much
India.
less.
No, but we can't just wish away security and fraud concerns, Mr. Taneja. Beyond Mishra would like to come in here right now. It raises a valid point here.
No, I want to make it very clear. You see, even if there is one fraud, we have to look into that. Let's understand that very clearly.
It has to
It's
be
not that the